Good evening, and good evening. How are you guys? I hope everybody is doing great, doing good. This video is just specifically about how to configure your D850, and I'm not talking about your adjusting your aperture or ISO or customizing different menus. No, that's not the case. It's about custom settings that you can do in your D850. The reason is because DH50 is one of the high-end machine after D5, right? Well, D6 is there, but currently among the machine which were released, D850 is among those top two. The number one is D5 right now, and D850 is basically the one of the flagship cameras that you can go with. So that's why, as is one of the flagship machines, so how to configure it, this is what we are going to learn in this video. Well, first off, I'm then this way there is a this ISO button. Everybody knows what this ISO button does. The thing is, by default, without doing anything, this ISO button can offer you a quick change of ISO. You press this button and you can change the rear command dial to change the ISO, right? You can see, but you are constantly changing, right? What if you can do without any hazard, without any hassle? So the thing is, in order to turn your camera into auto ISO, you just press this button and move this front command dial. Just watch this over here. Just watch over here. You just change the front command dial once. Now you see auto, right? Now the camera is on auto ISO. You just press this and turn this. Now this auto ISO. Now I don't have to worry about ISO. Quit. Just quit. Press this button. Press this button. That's normal ISO. So ISO is not going to change now. But once I switch to this, it's auto ISO. So even in auto ISO, I can change my ISO value natively on the camera. But by moving the the sub command dial, I can change its auto function. In the same way, I can change a lot of these features over here by pressing the button, and I can change it. Even I change the white balance. Let me show you. I press this white balance button, and you see these two, the rear command dial and front command dial. I can change all this. So in this way, I can change the main, and I'm keep pressing this white balance. So I can quickly change the different white balance values, and by changing the sub command dial, I can change these values. See? So the main command dial, just to change the main setting of the white balance, and sub command dial is to change something else into the menu. So that goes by default. In this one, only I can use the rear command dial, not the sub command dial. Same. In this, I can use both rear command dial and front command dial by keep pressing this white balance. So that's one of the thing. Now, here is another thing. The thing which I love to go right now, which I really want you to just focus on, is this one, controls. In the control, you see there's autofocus, metering, timer, shooting and display, bracketing and flash. The second last controls. That control is for photography. So I'm going into the controls, and this is where the fun begins. You see all those functions which are going to help you to change the different settings, right? So I'm going to F1. In F1, you're seeing this, all these different things like the preview button, the function button 1, the function button 2, the AF on button, the focus button which I can use, configure whatever I want, and there is a focus button press which I can choose, the bracketing button, this is the movie record button, and this is the function button on the lens, which going to be conjunction with the body. So if you have a lens which have this function button on the lens, you can configure that as well. So let's start with this. All right. So this is the preview button, which is, as you can see, this is the front top button, which is this one. This one. All right. It's written preview, and this is function button number 1, FN1. And this is over here. This is the bracket button, and this is the function button 2. All right. So let's go into the menu, controls, and there's a custom control assignment, which is F1. In F1, we have all these different functions which we can configure. So I'm going to jump on the first one. In this first one, I selected this group area AF. Let me repeat. When I go into that, I press this OK center button, and then I choose auto area AF plus AF mode. In this, even I can go to a auto area AF, and this one, and I can choose group area AF. In group area AF, what it does, it's now what's going to happen? What's going to happen is, for example, I am choosing this continuous and with auto area. So it means that camera is going to be in continuous focus, but with auto area selection. So whenever I'm going to press this AF on button, camera is going to pick any autofocus point and going to lock on it. But if I'm going to keep pressing this button, all right, you seeing this? Yeah, keep pressing this button, and while pressing this button, I'm going to press this AF on button. In conjunction to that, the camera is going to choose the group auto focus instead of auto. What is right now? The focus point is auto. You seeing this? Above of AFC is auto. Check this out. It's auto. Now let me show you what I mean. Okay. All right. Okay. You seeing? I hope you can see. All right. Now I'm pressing the AF on button. You see, in the AF on button, I'm pressing this button, so camera is going to focus. Right now there is nothing, so but still, let me see if I put that bottle and see if we can focus this bottle. Okay. I'm pressing this AF on button. You see, the camera try to do something, but as soon as I'm going to press that preview button, you see this? Yeah. Now I'm releasing that preview button. The camera is going to choose any. Camera is going to choose any autofocus point. But the moment I'm going to press this preview button, now you see, now I am going to choose the group autofocus. So this is what this button does. This is what it does. So I can choose, just quickly change the focus point from single point or auto into group. Now the second is this one. I configured this for leveling. Now leveling is really very important for landscape photographers. Now sometimes what happens is you are putting the tripod on the ground, but still the tripod is not level to the horizon. You put the camera onto the tripod, you don't have that level on top of your DSLR, and so you don't know is your camera or tripod is level to the horizon or not. This is where this function is really very handy. This is built-in feature of D850. All right, FN1. So what I did, I configured this button FN1 to level. Now if I go into the menu, you see all these parameters. Yeah, I can choose any of them, but I specifically chose viewfinder virtual horizon, right? Now look what happened. You have to look into the you have to look into the lower part of the screen, the lower part of the viewfinder. Now I'm going to press this button and see what happens. Alright, now I press this button. Now you see I am turning the camera, and you probably seeing that it's tilting. When I'm tilting the camera, it is showing me where the virtual horizon is going on. Sorry. So in this way, I have configured the camera virtual horizon. Now the next, the function button 2. Sorry. The function button 2 is basically this button. I configured for my custom list. What it means that if you go into the menu, this is the where it is. This is the my menu. So I have selected number of points which I have used for myself from all over the different menus. So this is my custom menu. So whenever I need to choose any of the quick feature which I mostly used, I put all those features, all those parameters into my menu. I just go down and I add any feature into my menu. But how to recall it? I configured this function button 2 for this. The moment I'm going to press this, I quickly have my menu. So I press this, it's there. It's there. I press this, my menu is there. So exposure delay, I quickly change to off. Electronic front curtain, I quickly change to disable. I can format the card like this. Boom, I format it. So all these parameters I can quickly change by simply pressing this, my menu. Alright, so next, controls, assignment. So I was talking about this F function button 2, which is this. Next is AF on button. This is simple, which is this one. I use for autofocus. Whatever the lens I have comes with autofocus. I have to just press this. I keep pressing. It will. You see. Now. So by pressing this button, I can just quickly focus the lens. It's simple. The next is this one. Now this is really important for many. Most of the time, I really don't like this D-pad. That's my personal preference. I'm not feeling comfortable with this. So what I did, when you choose this, instead of, because this joystick is for autofocus selection point. If you go into the menu, wait, let me show you. Alright. Okay. So if you go into the viewfinder, you can see those menu, autofocus point moving, right? It's moving, right? Because I am moving this joystick. What if, instead of changing this menu from D-pad, what if we change this menu from this? From the joystick? It's much more easy. So this is what I did. I configured this joystick to function as a D-pad. So I can quickly, it's for me, it's more easy rather than D-pad. So instead of focus point, I put it at same as multi-selector, like this. So this focus point selection is now working like D-pad. So this is menu is for this. Now What's this? This and this looks the same, right? Now, this is very, very handy for me. Why? Look, uh, this is metering. This is the metering. So when I press this button, my meter, look, I'm pressing this button. Look, my meter. My meter is center weight, matrix metering, highlighted the single spot metering. This is spot metering. This is highlighted as spot metering. This is matrix. This is center weight. I am keeping it for matrix metering. So by default, my metering is matrix. So it means that camera is going to read the whole scene. But for example, I am shooting a bird, and that bird, it's kind of the sun is behind the bird, and the bird is coming out silhouette, and my camera focus system is not able to get the right focus. Also, the camera metering system is not able to judge the best exposure for the bird. So what happened is, I am just moving the focus point. Now you have to look into the lower left corner. Lower left corner of the screen. So instead, I am going to use this selector to move the autofocus point. So imagine the bird is at the behind the camera over there, and further there is a sun. So I'm going to move the autofocus point towards the bird, and I'm going to press this multi-selector. The moment I'm going to press this button, my camera is going to shift its focus metering system from matrix to spot quickly, just pressing by this button. Let me show you. So if I have in a bird and the camera is metering mode, so I just quickly move the autofocus point to the birds, press this, and boom, it quickly changed the metering mode from the matrix to spot meter, and I take the shot, and I'll get the exposure of the bird correctly. This is the quickest way I configure this camera to change the metering from matrix to spot by pressing this button, this joystick. Let me show you. Where it is? Look over here. Just look over here. It's matrix, and the moment I'm going to press this, it's changed to spot. And even you can look the meter over here. It goes to negative. Matrix, it's matrix, and that's spot. The moment I'm pressing spot, you see it's going into the negative over here. Again, spot, negative. That's matrix. Spot, matrix. You see, the matrix and metering is affecting the metering of the camera. The moment I'm choosing a spot, it goes negative. So it means that wherever my focus point is, the moment I'm going to press this, the camera meters that focus point where it is, and that focus point is somewhere at the back, at the black. That's why it's showing negative meter, because it's dark for the camera. Next, bracketing, and this is very funny thing. Because I don't do videos, so I configured the video function button to choose the sensor size. See, Nikon has all these features that you can choose from frame to 1.2x, the DX, 4x4, 5x4, and into a square. So what I did, the moment I'm going to press this movie button and change the main command dial, look what happens. I'm pressing this button and I can change the sensor size. That's full frame, that's square format, that's 5x4, that's DX. Even you can see this into the viewfinder. You see? It's masking. So I configured that by pressing the movie button and changing the main command dial, I can quickly change the sensor size, the sensor effective area, which gives me the final output. So this is the button for the lens. If your lens have this button, you can configure anything among those. Now, multi-selector. Multi-selector is shooting menu, reset. So it's basically this pad, what you are going to do with it. In playback mode, I configured to 100%. So if I'm taking a shot and I press this center button, it will go 100%. Where the focus point was. You see the focus point? It's somewhere over there down. So it directly jump on this focus point. Next, live view is the same. I can choose any. Shutter speed, lock. If I'm going to press select this, I cannot change the shutter speed, and the same way I cannot change the aperture. It's going to be lock. Let me show you exactly. Let's lock the shutter speed. Now look into the menu. Okay, I cannot change the shutter because I locked it. It's locked at 100. I can change the aperture, but I cannot change the shutter speed. So I am going back again and I unlock the shutter. In the same way you can lock the aperture. Customize command dials. These I can even change the main and sub command dial. So I can change this by changing the function of this. Right now I can change the shutter speed from this and aperture from this. I can swap these as well if I want. Canon users have this aperture control from here and shutter speed somewhere over there. So Canon users can do that. They can switch this and feel like Canon. Unfortunately, Canon cameras doesn't do this way. I'm not sure. Maybe they can. Multi-selector off, reverse indicator, and all those things. Well, these are the rest of the menus which you can go for. But my main intention was to show you guys how much customization you can do in this. I have right now with me, that's D780. This is D780. All right. This D780 is the new generation machine, but this even cannot have these kind of functions. You see, it has limited functions, unlike D850. It cannot, and I was surprised that why D780 has less number of customization and compared to D850. So that shows that D850 is one of the flagship machines, because flagship machines carry most of the customization because it's the top of the line. So D850 is the top of the line machine. These are not. Of course, this is good for your low light shooting and stuff, but anyways. So I'm going to wrap up this video now, because the whole idea is to show you guys how we can customize D850. And it's one hell of a customization that you can go with in D850, just like D5 or D500. I'll show you guys some other time how about the D500, how we are going to do it. But right now is D850. Thank you very much for tuning in, and see you guys in future.